Hey you guys, today I'm going to be doing another carp fishing video, hopefully. I'm going to try out some different spots at the creek. Hopefully find some nice holes where they all like to bed and catch some carp. I got that same rod from yesterday. But once I did it, oh man, once I caught that fish, I'm guessing the drag got really messed up. And now when you pull on it, it doesn't make that clicking noise that you would usually hear. It just makes a sort of a smooth sounding noise. And, I wondered if my reel got broken. I would hate for it to, break in the middle of a fight where I'd either lose or hurt the fish, or, I'm still down a reel then. And, had to double check with my papaw. But he said it was fine as long as it still works. So I'm out here, I'm taking the same thing of corn. I'm trying not to waste it, so I'm taking it out. Or I put it in the fridge overnight to try and keep it fresh, even though the lid was opened. The spot I'm going to is downstream from the one from yesterday. Oh man. It definitely requires a little bit more walk-in. A lot of cobwebs getting in my face right now. Pretty itchy down here. I'm holding my phone with one hand and holding the rods and stuff with the other, so sort of gotta be itchy for a little bit. I've come down here before, and this is actually one of my main spots that I came down to when I was first starting out fishing this creek. Got all sorts of little bugs on me, making me itch. Get off there. And down here there's an abundance of hybrid stripes, and I was fishing about early spring. I don't know all the different spawning seasons, but they were here in the spring. Hopefully they're here in the summer. I've got the same rig on from yesterday for the frog right there. Got the same rig on for the carp from yesterday. Same exact setup. I did break my hook off yesterday, getting them on the bank. I'm lucky I was able to land that fish. Ooh, getting stuck here. Lots of little branches. And, ooh, it's a struggle right here. I was able to land them, but I lost my hook. I probably would not have been able to get my hook back, because I hooked him in the gills and he was bleeding real bad. And it didn't want to keep him out the water for any longer than I did. So I just put on a new leader and pulling on the same exact hook. I actually got these hooks from my friend Nick. He sometimes comes down here and fishes with me. And I gave him a couple soft plastics and stuff for some different hooks, some different gear. You know, it was before I had all the stuff that I did. And so these hooks have just sort of been sitting in a little part of my tackle box. Never thought they would be any more useful than for little panfish, but you know, after catching that 15-pound carp on it, they're some of the most valuable hooks to me, and I only got about 3 or 4 of them. And you know, I can always go to the store and get more, but I just really, I don't want to try and overconsume fishing stuff. You know, probably about 60% of the stuff that I own fishing wise was found. There's an area near here. It's a little public access point to Silver Creek, and it's called Silver Creek Landing. And one day I went out there trying catfishing for the first time, and the water was down about 8 or 9 feet, and so I figured I wasn't going to catch any catfish there. I was eating hot dogs. So I just decided to start looking for lures, and I found maybe about $100 worth of stuff out there. Pretty nice, you know. Save myself some money, get some of that trash out of the ecosystem. Oh man, the creek is real low today. Yeah, get some of that stuff out the area, some trash, and I like to be able to repurpose it. Alright, now here comes the tricky part. We gotta get down there. It's gonna suck having both hands occupied. Ooh. Usually I just slide down here. I'm gonna see if I can do that. Oh man, I probably shouldn't have worn shorts. It's gonna be so bug infested with all this tall grass. I used to come down here so much that I can just walk this. I used to come down here. That little paths used to get made from where I walked, and I know deer come down here sometimes and make their own little trails. But I was the main man to do that. You can see it's, you know, up to my hips about here. Gets real thick. The creek is just so low today, and I'll show you once we get up here. That tree hanging right there is prime time fishing spot here. You can get real close up to the water, away from all the weeds. Just nice little spot to, you know, even just hang out and chill. You can definitely see the remnants of some paths that I've took. Maybe deer have started taking after me. I'm gonna have to check my legs for ticks. But down here, there's a little hill. I gotta watch my step. Those thick branches. So you just step down here. I'm gonna get in the water. I'm feeling like I want to wade. Oh, it might be a little. There's that tree I'm talking about. The water used to get up to about there, where my top rod is. And surprisingly, the only catfish I've ever caught, it was a channel cat, I caught with a jig head with a tiny spinner on it and a 1-inch curly tail grub. That completely took me by surprise. It was probably 3.5, 4, maybe even 5 pounds. I might pull up a video for you guys. so you can see it. But completely shocked me to see a catfish hit a lure like that, especially in those water conditions. Must have passed right in front of them. Quite beautiful out on the creek today. I'm going to be going further downstream. I have a couple other spots downstream that I might want to hit. But it's just real pretty out here right now. The spot that I caught the channel catfish was up there. Actually way further up there, probably an hour walk through the creek. You know, no more than half a mile, but the creek really does slow you down. My phone battery isn't the highest right now. It's about on 28%. Started recording at 34% about. And my parents need to be able to see where I am. They got a map, Life 360. And they're not helicopter parents about it, but they still need to be able to know where I am. I just saw a little maybe chub in there. So this might be a shorter video, you know, compared to the 20 minutes from yesterday's. And I'll probably only start recording once I, you know, get on a fish. I might get a couple shots of me casting out. But I want to try and conserve this battery just a little bit. Now, I've actually never really been to this part of the creek. You know, I've fished back there, and I've waded downstream in search of lures. That's actually how I found that spot in the first place from yesterday. Ooh. Just wading up the stream looking for lures. But I've never really been in this little stretch of the creek here. Hopefully we find some nice holes. You know, there's a nice little bank right here for me to stand on. And I'm alright with standing in the water, but I want to find somewhere that I can prop my rod up. Eventually when I start going for carp here in a minute. I also have on my other rod a sabiki rig. I'm pretty sure, yeah, I found these sort of flies down at the Falls of the Ohio State Park. Or it might have been, no, it was down at the falls. And I decided I wanted to be able to use it in the creek. It's going to be my first time using it in the creek. I need to find some deeper water first. But hopefully it'll be able to catch some fish down here. You know, I'm going to try eventually start using little bluegill and sunfish for catfishing. My papa's got a minnow trap for me. And I know quite a few spots that I could lay that out and get quite a few, you know, good size minnows, 2 to 3 inches. What's interesting is there's ATV tracks. Maybe somebody who owns this property up here. And I want to emphasize, I try my best not to trespass. And when you look on a property map, you can see that nobody really owns these banks, especially when this part of the creek is a navigable stream. So I'm 99% sure it's legal for me to walk on these, and if someone does ask me to get off, you know, it's no big deal. I just don't really feel like wading in the creek right now. So I'm definitely seeing some fish right in there. Looks like a striper, maybe a smallmouth. I don't know if you can see the shining right there. Yep, he's going. Lots of little things in the water. I doubt that there's big carp here, but there might be some tiny carp. But this hole right here is just loaded with them. They're all feeding out in those waters. I don't know if y'all can see the shining in the water. There's a deeper hole right there. But I'm going to start walking to the left here and try not to disturb them. Oh man. Yeah, they're schooling. Hopefully they hit this sabiki rig. I also got some other lures I'm going to try. Oh my gosh, you guys. Oh my gosh. There's a whole school of them right there. Big school, big school. I'm going to try to get close. Oh my gosh, you guys. Giant school. About 50 of them. I don't know if you can see it. Oh man. They're right there. They're right there. Yep. You see them? Passing right by me. Giant school. Absolute monstrous right there. Hopefully this sabiki rig, it's got like 3 hooks on it. Hopefully I get 3 at once. That'd be amazing. Oh man. That was a cool sight. So I'm gonna come over here and start casting out. You know, once you just start paying attention to what actually surrounds you, you get so much more details that are really helpful. You know, I never would have known that there were giant grass carp in that spot if I hadn't stopped and surveyed the area first. Now I know that there are hundreds, no, not hundreds, but near 50 fish in a little school that I just got to target. Man, that was really cool sight. So I'm going to start casting out and see if I can get one. Might not get all the catches on camera because, oh my gosh, you guys, they're circling right there. You see them right there, that big school. They're just circling right there. I don't know what they're doing, but I need to get to this bank quick because that right there, in that middle, is about 50 fish. Now they might be hybrid stripe, they might be rock bass, they might be little smallmouth, but absolute giant school right there. I'll check in with you guys if I can target them. They're right over there. I'm going to just cast out right in the middle of them. Hopefully I can get one. Hopefully I don't scare all of them off. Alright guys, well the sabiki rig kept getting caught in the rocks and it felt like I was getting a ton of bites. And I also can't really see the fish from here, so I got a little container with lures. I'm going to switch them and hopefully move over there and find them again. Just cast right by them. Y'all, I think I got one. Just kidding, y'all. This is a snag. I got to go all the way around this creek and go pick it out. I think I might as well switch my bait while I'm at it. I got maybe a 2-inch curly tail on there on a jig head. And the fish were just getting scared by it. I had a nice largemouth, or not largemouth, smallmouth follow it. But I scared them off. So I'm hopefully going to put on a smaller lure and catch some of them shad. Because them things, that school is just giant. Well, I just tied on the same lure from yesterday. Hopefully it's small enough. I'm actually going to start fishing over there on that bank. Hopefully get a better angle on them. And I feel like I'm getting too close over there. Maybe scaring them a little bit. and I don't have anything to hold my rod. So if I do catch one, it's gonna be the fish, not the process of catching the fish. And so I was able to get the carp on camera because, you know, it's bait. You can choose if you want to set the hook or not. But on these with lures, just not able to do that. So I think I'm still seeing their big old school somewhere up here. I'm gonna see if I can find them again. And I've also caught smallmouth on this little lure here before. Got one that was about 15 inches long. Maybe 2.5 pounds, maybe 2 pounds. Really good smallmouth in this area with this lure that looked exactly like this. So I'm going to start casting this out and see if I can get one. I was busy casting out, and I look over to my left. Looks to be a buck. I don't know. It might just be my camera. Might be a doe. We got a lot of does in this area, but you know, you'll see the occasional buck here and there. Really quite beautiful, but the airplane up there has to ruin it. Hopefully this guy comes this way. Oh, my camera's up. Oh, he's coming this way. Well, I'm gonna keep fishing and hopefully I can get a nice close-up shot of him. And now that he's over here, he's actually starting to look like a buck. I got one, you guys. Picked it right up. I'm gonna try and get a video of me de-hooking this. Hopefully I can get it. Beautiful smallmouth. Not the biggest, but we're gonna let him go here. Beautiful release right there. Hopefully I didn't get, I'm glad I didn't get skunked. Caught him right there around that pool. Hopefully I got it on camera. Beautiful fish, real fun fight. They're jumping, and I'm guessing that whole thing, that whole school is either shad or smallmouth. You know, that was maybe my 5th cast. And we had a visitor to watch. Buck over there. Hi, Buck. He's probably confused to death right now. But I'm gonna start casting back out. Glad I didn't get skunked today. Real beautiful fish. I'm gonna go ahead and move downstream. It's also how I get home. But there's a nice pool down that way that I've caught. You know, one day I came out here late spring and I think I caught near 25-30 fish from just those 2 holes down there. Real amazing spot down here at the creek. Hopefully I'll catch something down there. This spot leads up into some rapids over there. Right there. And the creek right here is shallow, and then it gets real deep over there right next to the bank. So I'm gonna probably get in the water here, maybe stand out over there and just cast upstream, let my lure drift down, and hopefully any fish that are traveling there see it and picks it up. Well, I got something, but it's not what I wanted. Little piece of a log. Serious, come on. We're gonna try this spot a little bit more. I'll maybe move up back there, but I only got about 30, 45 minutes before I got to start heading back. You know, I'm happy that I caught that smallmouth today. It wasn't the biggest thing ever, but it was still bigger than a lot of the fish in here. Quite a beautiful fish. Hope that it stays healthy. So we are gonna go ahead and move over there. You know, this spot is really hit or miss a lot of the time, but this was the stream that I was talking about with some big old minnows in them. Let me see if I can see one. But they get, there's tons of little isolated pools like this. And the water is really cold. Actually very cold compared to the creek water for whatever reason. And so it's great for the minnows to be in and live in. I'm thinking about setting a minnow trap somewhere further into there. But we're gonna go ahead and move up here. It does get a little wider over here, the hole, so that might be where the fish are hanging out. I haven't seen too much activity, but we're gonna hope that the fishes aren't really moving, but they're willing to bite this little worm on here. And I've had this worm for maybe a week or two, 3, and it's getting chewed up. So when it's definitely on its last leg. I just saw a fish right there, so we're gonna hope to. Got this tiny little shad right here. I'm gonna get it to the some life into it. I'm gonna get it to the bank. If I can record this. Come on. Oh no, I don't wanna. Alright, there we go. Little smallmouth, get him back in the water. Looked over. Look right over there. There's a buck. Right there, looks like a 6 or 8 point crossing the creek. I've never seen something like this before. Absolutely beautiful. So I'm gonna try and walk over to keep him in frame. He's big. He's got a big old one. And crossing the creek, I've never seen a deer do this before. Especially not a buck. Oh baby. It might have been the same one from earlier. He might have crossed in this forest here. Just beautiful. I don't know how he's going to get out though. You know, I've seen deer tracks all along over there, but they all end at a cliff or some rapids, so he's got to be brave. I'm going to shut this off and try and get closer to him. Guys, I'm going to go ahead and be done for the day. I caught 2 fish I'm happy about. Man, these airplanes are getting loud. Oh, it's real close. Right there. Caught 2 fish. One, good sized smallmouth for the creek, and the other, not the biggest, but I'm just happy to be able to catch something. That deer, or that buck went out right there. I guess there's a trail that they take up. But that was the closest I've ever got to a buck up in person. And it's especially rare to find them in this area. We have just so many does down here, but so little bucks. And I'm guessing that one was the same one standing back there. He came through these woods here and decided to cross right there. I think that's really neat. I think it might be a good omen, something like that. So I'm going to go ahead and hop off here. If you liked the video, go ahead and like it. You know, if you want to see some more stuff like this, go ahead and subscribe. I can't guarantee catching a fish every video, but if you just want to hear me talk and share some of my stories, you can go ahead and comment any requests. It was fun being out here, and I hope to see you guys in my comment section. Bye-bye.